What's going on, guys? We're finally back after an extended hiatus from the channel. I just finished up a big professional freelance gig, and now that it's over and done with, I have more time to spend on the channel. And I know that our fans waiting for more Mazza region content have gone too long without their wishes being fulfilled, so I wanted to start off the month with a new Pokemon video. It's been over a month since I shared with you guys any new Gen 9 Pokemon designs, and I had all of these plans for what I wanted to do next in the last video, but to be completely honest, I sort of forgot where I was going with that. So disregard whatever I said in the last video. Today, I want to explore a subject that I think all Pokemon artists have pondered over: unique type combinations. As of right now, there are 18 different Pokemon types, and 171 total possible type combinations out there. Over the years, almost all of these possible type combos have been used in a Pokemon or a Mega Evolution, but there are still a handful that have yet to be conceived. So in today's video, we're going to be exploring 3 entirely new type combinations that have never before been seen in Pokemon history, with one complicated exception. I'll explain it later. Anyway, let's get into it. The first type combination I thought about is arguably one of the most anticipated of the 3 yet to be used: Dragon and Bug. These are 2 of my favorite typings. Both provide near infinite possibilities when it comes to visual designs. Dragons being a loosely defined group of mythical creatures, and bugs being anything from insects to aliens or even prehistoric shrimp. There are so many different things you could draw inspiration from to create a bug and dragon type. For me though, nothing seemed more deserving of a bug-dragon typing than a Pokemon based off of the bizarre and unearthly looking twig spiders. These guys are really strange and have adapted a unique form of camouflage in the form of a long, flexible abdomen that looks something like a lizard's tail. While they are true spiders, one might think that they belong to an entirely different family altogether. They really look like nothing else on Earth. When I began brainstorming for ideas for what a Pokemon based off of these animals might look like, my main goal was to play off of the fact that the spiders give the impression of a dismembered arm with a handful of long, misshapen fingers. I imagined a sort of fairy tale creature that scuttled around through the forest on several claw-like legs, then rears up like a serpent on its thick tail. In my final illustration, I posed it like how you see Kabuto in its default art, from the bottom. In the game, I can picture it facing downwards on all of its legs, so that it gives off the vibe of that dismembered limb that I was going for. When animated, I imagine the tail whipping back and forth subtly, and giving it a little extra kick when it leaps or attacks. Ariamano, the twig mimic Pokemon. First discovered in the Mazza region, Ariamano have since been found living all around the world. Their minuscule size and coloration hides them well among the trees and brush that they live in, and they can even mimic leaves and branches when they feel threatened. If camouflage fails, Ariamano will leap forward and attack with its 6 sharp legs. This can instantly KO smaller foes, but against most enemies, it's more cute than it is dangerous. Okay, so remember the exception I made at the beginning of this video? I was referring to another fake Pokemon I created, Mozzie Mudbray and its evolution. They're both ground fairy, a type combination that does not exist yet, so technically this Pokemon's typing doesn't exist, unless you count Pokemon that I've made up. And even I don't count them, because I might retcon those Mozzian forms. I don't know yet. Anyway, I thought of using ground as a type combination with fairy would be a fun opportunity to diversify what fairy type Pokemon could look like. Most fairy types are delicate looking, feminine, and cute. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, they tend to stay within the realm of cutesy pink fluff balls. Now, I love Jigglypuff and Alchemy as much as the next guy, but I really liked how in Gen 8 they gave us a weird, ugly fairy type Pokemon like Galarian Weezing. I wanted to channel that bizarre sense of design into something that would fit more into our fake region. I began thinking along the lines of my friend Nick, and the kinds of designs that he really likes. I tend to go very biological with my character designs. taking inspirations from animals and humans, whereas he likes to get a little bit more abstract with what could be considered a character. Pokemon like Magnemite, Roggenrola, and Klefki are good examples of these kinds of designs. We call them little guys. Then the idea of an Aztec calendar rolled into my head. Literally, I pictured a thick stone disc rolling around with a mind of its own, possessed by some mythical unseen creature within it. Something like that would normally fall into the realm of rock or ghost types, but I thought it would be fun if this was imagined as a ground and fairy type. In my mind, fairy types describe the Pokemon that are just too bizarre to categorize with any other, and this design certainly fits that description. This was actually a challenge for me to design and render. Like I said, I usually like to have some sort of anatomy, bones, muscles, fur, something in my designs. Making a Pokemon that was just a clay tablet with an eye was tough, but I think it's important to have Pokemon like this in every generation. It keeps things diverse and caters to a minority but equally important subsection of Pokemon fans. So people who like little guys, this one's for you. Although, well, I actually imagine Rototona being kind of big, so it's only a little guy in theory. Rototona, the calendar Pokemon. These rare Pokemon reside within artifacts carved in ancient times by a long-lost civilization. The carvings are thought to indicate some sort of primitive calendar, but scientists have a hard time studying them due to Rototona's mischievous nature. One was kept in a museum for 30 years before the Pokemon inside decided it was bored and went on a rampage of the building, destroying countless other relics before breaking down a wall and rolling back off into the jungle. So, as I was going over the list of type combinations not yet used, my eyes lingered over electric and fighting. It took me a minute, but then I realized why those two types in particular were so intriguing to me. We haven't done a Pikachu clone yet. A sort of unspoken tradition in every generation since the third is the inclusion of a small mammalian electric-type Pokemon with a cute face and a pair of round colored cheeks. And while we already have a Luchador Pokemon, and quite literally a Pikachu Libre, I wanted to make a new electric fighting combo that paid homage to the traditional Mexican sport of masked wrestling. It took me a while to settle on a real-life animal inspiration for the Pokemon, but I knew that I wanted something that looked a little beefier than the other Pikachu clones. Then, while sketching, I drew a character with something like an implied cape, and suddenly the idea of an electric bat hit me, and I immediately decided that it would be the cutest possible concept for my Lightning Luchador. This Pokemon would be brave for its size, full of gusto and swagger. I wanted to simulate the iconic decorative style of a Luchador's uniform in the design without making it look too much like Hawlucha or Pikachu Libre. Of course, the design needed those iconic cheeks and something less than subtle to indicate its electric typing. A lightning bolt has worked in the past, why fix what isn't broken? I also wanted its wings to glow as if they were just charged with electricity. It also added some of that signature Luchador flair in the form of an unnecessarily flashing cape. It's one of those Pokemon that's trying so hard to look tough, but all you can do when you see it is say, "Aww." Chispika, the mini wrestler Pokemon. Chispika live in large colonies of up to 100 individuals. During the day, they remain inactive deep inside of caves. But at night, the caves light up with flashing bursts of yellow as the Pokemon fight for dominance over the colony. Only 2 Chispika will ever fight at a time, allowing the others to spectate from a distance and cheer for their favorite of the pair. Losers will often leave the colony out of shame, but will attempt to return after training with stronger foes out in the wild. Well, that's all for today, guys. This was a fun way to get back into the Fakemon mode, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm not entirely sure what kind of Pokemon I want to add to the Pokedex next, so be sure to leave any ideas you have down in the comments. We will, however, be doing another fan-submitted Pokemon video later in the month, along the same lines as our Hallowed Pokemon series, so stay tuned for that. As always, guys, it's been a real treat designing with you all. Happy December, and we'll see you all in the next video.